Assalamu alaikum to Ramadan special course day 4, the last ayah at Surat Ikhlas. Let's try to hear the last ayah of Surat Ikhlas.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Again.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Last time.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
As we said in the third ayah, we have a meme that has a sukoon, comes after it, ayah. So the rule will be idhar shafawi. Idhar shafawi for meme, all of the letters except meme and ba. We want to say the meme and the ya, both of them clear. Then we have a noon that has no thing, fatha, no dhamma, no kasra, comes after it, a lam. First thing, the letters that has no vowels, we consider it as letters with sukoon, but we didn't write this sukoon for a reason. So the noon that has a sukoon, it has a special rule. For lam comes after it, it will be idgham. Idgham means mixing. That means that you want to mix the sound of the noon with the sound of the lam. But this idgham for lam, it will be complete idgham with no gunna, which means that you are going to put the noon and the lam together and mix them completely, as you cannot make difference between the sound of the noon and the sound of the lam. Both of them will be as one sound, and without gunna. We are not going to make the gunna for this noon. Noon has a gunna, which is the nasal sound that comes from our nose, or al-khayshum, but in here for lam, we are not going to make a gunna. So it will be yakullahu. How can I know that I'm not doing the gunna? By closing my nose, as it's the exit of the gunna, so it will not come out. But if you are saying it, so you will feel a vibration in your nose, or the sound is different than when you open your nose. For example, yakullahu. Now I'm closing my nose. Yakullahu. You cannot hear any difference between both of them because there is no gunna. If I close the exit or open it, they will be the same. Then we have a letter of mad in here, a small letter of mad, which will be 2 counts. Lahu. 1 count means to get your finger down or to get your finger up. One of them, not both of them together. Then we have a tanween. Comes after it a hamza, which is one of the throat letters. So it will be idhar halqi. So the sound will be, as we said for mim sakina, idhar means clear. For tanween also idhar means clear. So we are going to say the sound of the tanween and the sound of the hamza, both of them clearly. So it will be kufuwan ahad. And then we have this. If we stop, we are going to replace it with a sukoon. So it will be ahad with a qalqala, as we do for all of the ayahs in Surat Ikhlas. But if we don't want to stop with a sukoon, we are going to read the vowel. What is the meaning of this sign? This is the sign of iqlab. The tanween rule, a tanween rule that we call it an iqlab. It's like idhar. Idhar means clear, iqlab means to change the sound. So we are going to change the tanween sound to the meme sound. Because of that we write a meme at the top of the letter. Iqlab comes only with the letter ba. But this is the last ayah of Surah Al-Ikhlas. No ba. After this dal, the tanween, so it will be an iqlab. We have a ba at the beginning of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in Surah Al-Falaq. Because of that, all of the surahs that ends with tanween, it will be an iqlab. Because the next surah starts with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, except Surah At-Tawbah. So if I want to connect it, it will be Ahadum Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So what is the meaning of this ayah? First 3 ayahs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to say that no similarity between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and anything in this world. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. He is the one. Allahu Samad. All of you need help, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't need any help. لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ. All of them means that if we trying to make similarity between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and anything in this dunya, there is no similarity between them. But in this ayah, which means there is no equivalent between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and anything in this dunya, nothing equal. I'm going to the store because I want to get a new watch. This watch is doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I go to the store and then they said it's not in here, but you can buy something else. It's not the same, but it will do what you want. The first watch, I cannot find it in the store, but the second one I can. They said they are not similar, but they are equal. The second watch will do the same as the first one. Let's imagine something else. I have a painting and I want to color it with black, for example, but I don't have black. So I get the blue and the red, two colors together to equal the black, almost the black. It's not the same, but it do the same effect. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ, wants to say there is no equivalent between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and anything in this dunya. Don't even imagine that. The people who worship the cows, people who worship stones, people who worship anything in this dunya, when they face a real tough time, they don't go to their idols. They go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to make dua. Why? Because they know in their hearts, in the deep of their hearts, that these idols, it's not equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who will solve my problem, who will help me on that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one else, nothing else. So how can I apply وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ in my life? So believing in this ayah, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, it means that we want to believe in the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His attributes with no equivalent between this and what we have. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-adl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has just, also the judge now. All of them wants to have trust. We cannot think that this adl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same or equal to the adl of the judge. Adlullah is totally different than the judge's adl. As we said in Surat Ikhlas, Allahu Samad, which means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't need any help, but we need His help. So we cannot think that if I'm independent, so I cannot think that I'm having the name as-Samad. Yes, I'm independent, and most of my work I do it by myself. I grow up from nothing, and now I have a lot of things. People come to me to ask help. This doesn't mean that the independence it's equal to as-Samad or the same as as-Samad. We need help even in the small things like breathe in and out, like how our eyes balls moving. When it becomes too light, our eyes balls get smaller. When it becomes darker, it gets wider. This thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it on us. We cannot do it by ourselves. So the meaning or believing in وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ means to believe in the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even we have some of the meanings in our lives, but it's totally different. Why? Basically because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator. We cannot the same as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or even equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unless we were the creator, but we are not. So there is no equivalent or similarity between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and between us or anything in this dunya. As we finish Surat Al-Ikhlas, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that it's equal to the third of the Quran, because if we divide the Quran to subjects, so we are going to have 3 topics. The first is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His names, His attributes, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on. All of the ayahs are talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And second one is talking about what happened before us, the stories of the prophets, the previous nations. And the last one is the rules, the ahkam that we have to do or to not do. So in Surah Al-Ikhlas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about Allah, which means the third of Quran. So the Prophet ﷺ in the hadith said that it's equal to the third of the Quran. This was our ayah today. See you inshallah in the next ayah with Surah Al-Falaq. Assalamu alaikum.